17, AP Macro, number 1. Let's see if we can do this tonight. Assume the economy of country X has an actual unemployment rate of 7, a natural rate of 5, and an inflation rate of 3. So it looks like actual unemployment is greater than the natural rate. And they want us to show this with a Phillips curve graph. Let's just recognize that this is a recession. I'm going to draw, this isn't necessary, but I am going to draw an aggregate demand, aggregate supply curve graph. And we know here's our recession with aggregate demand to the left of full employment here, right? This is YF, full employment. This is Y1. Obviously, in a recession, unemployment is greater than full employment, right? So PL1, Y1. Recognize if we're drawing a Phillips curve, do we need a long run Phillips curve? Short run and long run. So just recognize that your Phillips curve, downward sloping, let's move that down just a little bit. Because what we should recognize is that this is my short run Phillips curve. Obviously unemployment on the vertical or in the horizontal, inflation on the vertical. Recognize that this is full employment, but so is that, straight across. Obviously we can see here that the price level has gone down. Output has obviously decreased. And if output has gone down, we know unemployment has gone up. So price level's gone down and unemployment has gone up. The way to show that over here is just a movement down your short-run Phillips curve. We can see that the price level has gone down and unemployment has gone up. This is a recession right here on our short-run Phillips curve. They want us to label it B. Easy enough. Oh, and they want us to put the numbers on here. Okay, that's fine. 7% is our actual rate of unemployment. Natural rate is 5%. And then inflation is 3%. I think that's right. All right. Assume that the government of country X takes no policy action to reduce unemployment. In the long run, will each of the following shift to the right, shift to the left, or remain the same? Understand this is a classical view question. As soon as we saw no policy action taken, and we saw in the long run, we need to recognize, and that's why I drew this curve, this graph, because this is what we need to see to sort of understand what's going on with our aggregate supply curve. The understanding here is that, oops, I can put that back, is that we're in a recession, and that in a recession, when people are out of work, they'll take lower wages to go back to work. So wages will fall. We can say prices will fall. This could be input prices too, but wages and prices go down. Your short-run aggregate supply curve shifts to the right. We can see that. It'll shift when wages go down. Cost of businesses go down, so supply shifts to the right. We go back to full employment at a lower price level. This is our sort of classical understanding. If there's no monetary, no fiscal policy action, and we're in a recession, what happens in the long run, right? We went from here to there, back to there. Short-run aggregate supply curve did shift to the right. That gets us 1 point, I'm sure, and then we would explain it using that right there. Long-run Phillips curve is unaffected. There's no change. Identify a fiscal policy action that could be used to reduce the unemployment rate. Well, government spending could go up. Draw a correctly labeled graph. Remember, government spending goes up, right? The way we write it all out. If we had to, government spending goes up, consumption goes up, aggregate demand goes up, price level goes up, real GDP would go up, output would go up, unemployment would go down. This is our causal chain of thinking for government spending, or fiscal policy action needs to be expansionary to get us out of a recession. All right. Draw a correctly labeled graph of aggregate demand and short-run aggregate supply and show the impact on the equilibrium and the real GDP of the fiscal policy action shown. So this is clearly, they didn't ask you to draw the long run, so we're just going to draw an aggregate demand, short-run aggregate supply, price level, real GDP, and recognize that as aggregate demand shifts to the right, the price level would go up, and so would real GDP. We've kind of already shown this. We know this because we drew it out right here. They just want to see it so that they know that we know. Quantity 1, or could I just do Y? I think I'll do just Y1 and Y2. I think that would probably be fine. We can see real GDP and price level both increased. Let's see. Yeah. And real GDP. All right, I think that's good. Based on the change in real GDP, identify in Part D, will the supply of country X's currency in the foreign exchange market increase, decrease, or remain the same? So understand that anytime they're saying real GDP is increased, it implies that the country's incomes, remember now, Y on the bottom down here stands for income. So lots of times we think incomes have gone up. If incomes go up, we just know that our citizens now are richer. They're going to buy more imports. When they buy more imports, let's see if I can draw it real quick. I don't know if I have to or not yet, but I'm just going to draw it. Supply and demand. Do we know what country? Country X. Let's just say X, quantity of X. A foreign currency to X. We know as they're buying more imports, they're dumping their money into the FOREX, and that means the supply of their currency is increasing in the FOREX, which is driving the value down. It will be increasing. And I would just explain it like that as real GDP increases, incomes increases, therefore imports will increase, and the currency will depreciate. All right, based on your answer and assuming a flexible exchange rate, will country X's currency, depreciate. How about that? There you go. And we don't have to explain it. All right, my friends, be safe, take care. See you soon. Bye.